All right, guys. All right, it's 6:30. It's 6:30. Let's get ourselves going here. I just want to make sure I'm live. All my things are streaming. I'm in a new seat in my office because we had to move around a little bit. So I just want to make sure we're right here. What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. I figured this would be like kind of an appropriate song. We didn't start the fire, right? What up? My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to the 6:30 Club, where my dogs around the world exchange some ideas. We talk about the narratives, about the false narratives, about what the media is obsessing about, what we really need to pay attention to, and how we're going to make some money. Every now and then I throw some bones in the doghouse, where you could dig them up. But every now and then I'd really just want to teach you guys how to do it yourself. So let's say what's up. All right, what up, Fireman Trader? How you doing? Good morning from Rockland. Good morning, Richfield. This way I'll take it from here. What up, Texas? Let's roll. Let's do it. Let's do it. Got Armenia in the house. It's good to see you. We got Moldova. See, my friends from the Eastern Bloc are doing just fine. They were less worried about what was going on on the Ukrainian border than friggin' the media that was talking about it every 20 minutes or 20 times every 20 minutes. That's why I was getting a little frustrated yesterday. But anyway, we'll get to that. We got DC in the house. We got Westfield, New Jersey. What up? It's Odessa, Ukraine. There you go. I trained over 100 traders from the Ukraine 4 different times, and for the past week, everybody's like, "Red Dog, I'm so happy you're not in the Ukraine." I'm like, "It's fine." Like, well, what are your friends saying? I'm like, my friends aren't even watching. They're at work. A lot of them are in the club. They're all trading the same way we are. We're more worried than they are. And yesterday, as a joke, I was like, "Hey, send me to Kiev because I don't think there's a chance friggin' Russia's coming in there and I'm safe and sound." While our Washington diplomats are saying, let's get them out of harm's way. Maybe we should have said more and said, hey, let's call their bluff. Again, that's why I was more frustrated to the fact that, whatever, I don't even want to get into it. I'm actually trying to contain myself right now because I'm in a pissed off mood. Why am I in a pissed off mood? Because I was actually trying to be long the Qs and the SPYs yesterday for an oversold type of bounce. And went midday for my Peloton test. They came back and all of a sudden the market made new lows, and I had to say, you know what, I need to be prudent. I'm very active, and at this point, we're still in a corrective phase. But although I know that the Russia-Ukraine is the narrative, the intermediate narrative, it's the way the computers are programmed, so I have to be a bit careful. And then as a joke, when they're like, oh, they're mobilizing the troops to attack mode, I'm like, no, they're not. They're going to the Banya. They want to get a little Pilates. They want to hang out, have some beers, and do a little hot cold. But anyway, what up, San Antonio? How you feeling? Feeling good? That's good. What up, Mexico City? Mexico City. There you go. All right, it's 6:33. Let's go. And Alexis, off. Uh-oh, she's not even listening. Alexa, off. I think I had to turn my TV set off twice yesterday because it was so annoying. You guys know the 20-time rule. Whenever you hear something 20 times on CNBC or any of these media channels, and I know I'm in the media, you know you're closer to the exact opposite. Whether it's markets in turmoil and, we've been in a corrective phase and who comes on TV and starts telling everyone to get out of stocks. I'll say, Mr. Seaman or Mr. Cool. He's really not that cool. Friggin' guy cheerleads at tops and friggin' is a fearmonger at bottoms. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. I don't like to talk smack about other people. I just sometimes get a little pissed off when people, get a little bit shaken up because of false narratives. So anyway, we woke up today and Russia, instead of, they moved their troops. Yeah, they were getting ready to move their troops because they're pulling them back because they've made enough money from all these commodity prices going up. They've just jawboned oil up another $10 and they've been putting it out there. So now, kind of like, remember a few years ago with the China tariffs? China tariffs are coming on, they're coming off, they're coming on, they're coming off. Every time we went down enough, all of a sudden, Washington would get long stocks. Nancy would be calling a stockbroker, oh, we're down, we're about to, reduce the tariffs. No, I'm kidding. They didn't really do that. Maybe they did. But anyway, let's just control what we can control. What can we control? We can control our keyboard, we can control our process, and we can control our temperament. And although I'm feeling a little friggin', pissed off today, I'm going to just let it go. That's what I should play. I should have played Let It Go. Alexa, play Let It Go. Anyway, let's go to the charts. Here's the chart of the Qs. And although we did have a red dog reversal yesterday, you guys know what that is. We went from 366 down and reclaimed 345.80. It was kind of tricky to be long overnight, so I'm not long the Qs overnight. I'm a little pissed, but I'm going to get over it. So the question now is, where could they go to? Where is resistance that, it's going to be hard to buy, but maybe a little tricky to short? You have 354 to 357. That's your resistance area. That is a spot that chances are sellers will come back, and then there's a chance a little bit for a little bit of an overthrow. So what I might do, I like this part. All right, starting to feel better. I'm already feeling better. All right, let's have a little iced coffee. Here it comes. This is Adina Mansell. She's from Syosset. I grew up in Syosset, and she was 2 years older. I was friends with her sister. There you go. Let it go. So if you're not long as much as you want it to be long overnight like I did, and you're not up a decent amount of money to start the day, just a day, just a moment in life. Just let it go. I did say yesterday, if you're an uncommitted short, you better be careful. And although we might work back and retest those lows, it might not be tomorrow or the next day that we're going to probably go back and forth. So, so the computers could distribute their stock. All right, Adina, I love you, but Alexa, off. So anyway, 354 to 357 would be a spot that, I would think if you did go home long, you would trim into, and if you were looking to fade, maybe look at that spot. What I might do is if we get to like 355 in the Qs, I might, sell like the 362 calls for Friday. So this way I'm taking in premium higher because into that area I feel like it's going to be hard to get through. You can do the same thing with the spiders. Spiders, if you take a look here, wasn't as convincing, wasn't as strong yesterday as the Qs. All morning I'm like, what the hell is Amazon doing up 80, Tesla up 30, Google up 15? If somebody knows that this market's trying to bounce, but then the friggin' computers and the headlines and TV were all about the mobilization and made everyone second guess the actual things we were seeing in the stocks. And now I'm starting to get agitated again, but let's let it go. Anyway, here we go. So in the SPYs, this is where we just kind of broke down from. Remember this support which we broke, wound up hitting 435 yesterday. Some computers were programmed to buy when you reclaim the low. I'm not a computer, I'm a person, so I didn't take it home, which I'm still a little pissed about, but I'm just trying to let it go. Now you have 445 to 447. So right now I think the SPYs are probably 445 in the beginning of this resistance zone. This moving average is 449. So this is your resistance zone. This is 451. I doubt we get there. So if we do get to like 446 today or something, I might sell like the 451 calls just for later this week. Yeah, I'm in a little chippy mode. Yes, I'm allowed. Just again, because the friggin', when you don't follow your own voice and you get voices in your head, it pisses you off, and it pisses me off. So even like yesterday, I kind of knew it. I shorted oil yesterday by buying options on the SCO because I'm like, there's no friggin' way. There are going to be Russian tanks going in there and firing missiles into Kiev. And I also sold calls higher in the GLD. I have a nice GLD call spread on I had before the troops came there for March for inflation, more for the Fed reducing accommodation, more for the Fed increasing rates, and because of the inflation that was there instead of the one that was massaged. So I sold some calls higher. So I managed that correctly. But anyway, I didn't do exactly what I was wanting to do because, things in my ear. So that's your resistance zone, 445 to 447. Okay, we're obviously opening above yesterday's high. So if you want to like look here, I'll give you let's see, where is so you go here and take a look. Yeah, the Dow futures are up 362. What did Europe do? DAX is now on the highs, up 1.75, which is a decent move. If you go where the SPYs are now, the SPYs are 445.45, up 6.5. So if you're not long them, you're not getting a head start on the day, which is just going to make a little bit of things complicated. But this is your zone. I like to, if you could have been long into this area. Now that you're getting into this area, it's not going to be an easy long. Like you see, someone's asking about the XLE, which has been trending, the XLE, which has been a place for for people to hide money. You're going to see what they're made of today, because with oil and energy lower, you'll see we were playing with the 8-day here. Does it need to get to the 21-day there? We've also tested the 21-day and held and still remained in a strong trend. So let's see, what is the XLE doing? The XLE is probably lower while money rotates. Yes, the XLE is down $1. So right around here. So you'll see, does this hold or not? This is what happens. We get these rotational, sometimes it's vicious, sometimes it's methodical, every couple of months based on the narrative of the tape. Now listen, you still have Fed minutes on Wednesday. The Fed still is going to most likely be doing at least a quarter, some say a half. No one's doing it mid-meeting. It's not necessary, but the media will like to talk about it. Just so you know, the media makes money by page views. Page views. So by them obsessing about Russian troops for a good few days, a lot of people were getting scared and reading those page views, and they were getting paid a little bit more for their advertising. That's the way it works. Anyway, so we'll see what happens there. As far as Tesla, which was strong yesterday, guys, you see Elon Musk behind me? That's funny, right? That was his Rogan interview. I don't have my other pictures because I'm on the other side of my office right now. So we'll see what happens here. If Tesla could get above and stay above this 900, which it's looking this morning, I would think maybe you could see 920. Okay, so this would be your spot. This where you'd have to take a little care. And then this zone is now your resistance zone. This is all last week. You couldn't get through this. Remember, it couldn't show any leadership. You can almost now take this down. Let's see, let's bring this over here now, make it smaller, because this is now really your resistance zone. Okay, so from here into here, that's going to be a bit of a problem. If all of a sudden they really start to get through this resistance zone, then it's telling you, hey, maybe we're changing a little bit of composure here, where we're not just range bound and compartmentalizing different areas where you could trade. Maybe some things start to act better, but we'll see. You can look at Apple. Apple broke down. Okay, I was long Apple, and I got stopped out here when this upper area broke at 174.90. This did a clean red dog reversal yesterday. If you got out at 174.90, hey, it did reclaim 168.04 and closed with a nice green bar. So you're getting paid if you took this overnight. You didn't care if Russia was invaded Ukraine because Apple had a red dog reversal. Anyway, so now what? This is like 170.155. This would be some resistance. So if you did take a home Apple, take your trades, day and a quarter trades. You could do that both long and short. So right here, I would take some off into 170.155. What was your question? Oh, GLD, why did I sell some calls higher if I thought maybe gold could break out? Because look at the size of the move in the GLD. Look at this. First of all, remember the first little move that they had to do to fake everybody out? Looked like it was going to break out there, and then boom. And then all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up days in a row. So I'm like, you know what? Although it looks good, I have a big 174 by 177 call spread. I'm like, let me sell. Which ones did I sell? I sold, I think, the strike above just to take in some premium just to play the ranges because I still have a month left on the call spread. ENPH, renewable energy equipment, very weak. That's fine. And then remember yesterday I started talking to you guys about Bitcoin. And I'm like, hey, look at this inverse head and shoulders pattern. I did buy a little bit back yesterday, small, and I actually was buying yesterday around 5 o'clock when it's like it feels like Bitcoin knows, and it's been a good leading indicator of actually the S&P. So watch your crypto accounts, because it does. Bitcoin sometimes it feels like lately it's been like a leading indicator. So if you go to Bitcoin here, you'll see Bitcoin right here, 44.30. Look at that nice little move. I couldn't trade the SPYs last night when I was feeling it. Instead, I put some of my favorite altcoins back on. And if you look here, remember when we talked about when the 21-day broke, you could have been out of Bitcoin here at 63.5, and then into this area is where I went back into a lot of crypto. So I did sell into this move. And by the way, you didn't have to anticipate that. You could have just bought on the 39K buy signal and it cleared this downtrend. Or you could have bought on this red dog reversal, either which way. Or you could have started here, confirmed there. Anyway, nice first move. And now here we are. This is your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. Next time it tries to get above this 45.8, which I don't think happens today or tomorrow. But I would think that why can't we get to at least 52? And that would be another nice move. All in all, we did hold the moving averages here around 41, and nice clean candle there. I did buy back some Crypto.com. I did buy back some Gala. I did buy back some Matic. I did buy back some Mana. a lot of those were acting well. I didn't add to algo because it's not acting great. I did buy some sand actually, and I did buy some KDA, and I also added to wax. So I added to a lot of things, there. But still, I would think I'm in like 40% cash in my crypto account. Here I went back to 100% all in. Here I went back to 50% cash, and now I'm like in 40% cash. But I'm only like literally 0.5% off my all-time high in my Coinbase Pro account. So you can maneuver it right here. When that broke, you had your way out, and then it was in a downtrend until there. So that's crypto. Today again, it would have been nice to come in long. I was long midday. It felt like tech was stronger. It felt like we were going to be able to play a bounce into those areas. And then the headlines went nuts about a few troops moving, and I got stopped out because that's what I do is when I leave midday, I put stops in. If we were going to be strong and close okay to have some risk on into an open like today, we shouldn't have, made new lows in the market midday. But that's how the computers are programmed, and shit like that happens. It is what it is. So today, don't revenge trade. Today, don't trade frustrated. Today, just let it go. And if you happen to be short, from yesterday, then you have to figure out, how much conviction do you have short? Are you going to add to your shorts? Are you going to let it control you for a little while? Or are you going to say, hey, I'm going to add versus a 5-minute high? And then if it breaks that 5-minute high, get out of the way and wait to figure out where the next little point of reference is. It's up to you. Roblox. You know what? Some of these archetype names have been showing some resilience. Some of these lower active sequences, have been acting better. So there is some room potentially here. RBLX, I kind of had this lower level. Remember this lower level move here? I actually played it here and I sold it. I didn't go back to it, but it kind of pushed above and then held above. So RBLX is showing some type of hope that you do have an active sequence that might be able to go up another level. Right? Here was your red dog reversal long. If you want to learn what's a red dog reversal long, well, after a huge big down move, it went below a prior low, okay, and then reclaimed it. So that was one strategy. Then it made a higher low. Then it cleared this inside range, and then it held it. So I would say that's, its earnings are tonight. I don't take stock into earnings, but maybe you want to do a call spread. Maybe you want to trade it after hours if you can get above this into there. But it's been battered and bruised. This is another good little like anatomy or lesson where you had that inverted head and shoulders pattern. I remember I took options into this earnings and we got paid. And then remember we held the earnings gap, and this is where your buy signal was. And then this was another buy signal when it cleared the post earnings high. And then all of a sudden you had a red dog reversal at the top right there. What's a red dog reversal? Well, pushed above, couldn't hold it, and then this engulfing bar definitely would have got me long out if I was still there. And then you had another lower high, and then this is when the trend really broke around 113, and whoosh, wouldn't it have been good to get out there versus riding it down and losing 50%. So that's your little technical analysis lesson 101. So here we are, 648. Listen, this process is going to go on for weeks. Okay, the Fed still has to reduce the pace of purchase across the board. They still have to raise rates, and they still have to run off the balance sheet. So all in all, the spiders are probably going to take their time to trade in this range. Okay, this shoulder, I drew this shoulder because I said this is how long it could build. Think about how long this shoulder built over here, and even the head. So with that being said, this 445 to 447 is probably your resistance spot. If they want to mess with everybody, because everybody just say we're short for an invasion, maybe they do an overthrow to 451. So in this spot, I'll probably be selling the 451s because I don't think we're going to get back to 458 just like that, just because we weren't trading off. Yes, yesterday I said the Ukrainian-Russian escalation is like greasing the wheels of the computers, increasing, intensifying moves, which is actually good for traders. We don't like slow, drip dry action. We like moves. But with moves like that, it's a little bit more violent, so the ranges are a little bit bigger. So you need to know the compelling areas so you don't get caught in the noisy spots, where if you're trying to be long, you get stopped out before it goes up, or you're trying to be short, you get stopped out because you started shorting too early, and then all of a sudden, a few days later, it rolls back down. So know your areas, know what you can handle, know your time frame, and let it go. If you're not long coming in today, you'll be just fine. Don't chase the open. I would give it an hour. Let there be an opening range. Really look at, what's acting well. Are they able to sell energy down? Is tech really holding higher? Is there power, or is it just a range? What are they doing with the financials, et cetera, et cetera? And then, you try and make some money in just a day in the life. And if you weren't there for it, fine. I'm a little pissed because I was really adamant. I'm like, there's no way. When I'm like, guys, Washington, send me to Kiev. I'll stand there. No one's going to be coming in with semi-automatic weapons and shooting in Americans. So why the hell are we, sending our friggin' consulate away to show weakness? Anyway. That's politics. I'm not allowed to talk politics. People mad at me yesterday for it. Like, just talk your technicals, Red Dog. I'm like, no. I like to, every now and then I get a little pissed off, even at Washington. Both sides. Both sides. I don't like the far left. I don't like the far right. I'm a moderate in the middle. I like to use common sense. That's my approach. And I'm sure a lot of other people are thinking the same thing at the same time. So every now and then, if I veer off the path of, green bars and green candles and red candles, deal with it. If you don't want to watch, then go watch Jim Cramer on CNBC and join his investment club. You'll do real well. Anyway, later, guys. Sorry. Anyway, have a good day. I'm going to post some charts. I got a lot to do. Listen to some music. I'm going to drink my coffee. Here's to my friends around the world. And technical analysis does unite continents. And if you work hard and have a process, over time you can make money in this market and have a living. And you could also invest in the long term if you have a process and a plan, if you stay the course. Cheers.